So the Vatican has released a new document, Norms for Proceeding in the Discernment of Alleged Supernatural Phenomenon. So this is replacing the procedures by Pope St. Paul VI in 1978. While the document doesn't necessarily mention certain particular situations that have influenced this, there have been so many conversations about this town, Medjugorje. Now, this town is located between Bosnia and Herzegovina and had gained so much widespread attention due to reported apparitions of the Virgin Mary. Beginning in 1981, where 6 children claimed to have regular visions of the Virgin Mary, and these alleged apparitions have continued for decades, drawing millions of people to visit the site. Now, going back to the article, there are a couple of takeaways from this. Bishops are given 6 alternative judgments, with the highest being the nihil obstat, which again, they're Latin, I believe, so I'm not gonna be able to pronounce this very well, so bear with me, you guys. So I'm a psychic medium, and I've done many investigations alike, and I wanted to contribute to the conversation in how what they're mentioning very much parallels into other cultures, belief systems, and even paranormal investigations. Let's get into the 6 judgments that they use.
So I'm going to be drawing in some parallels from what they wrote down to rather what I know as a psychic medium, and also what some people do in the paranormal investigation field. I'm definitely going to draw in from my personal experience. So take what I say with a grain of salt and as my perception and experience. But anyway, the first one is pretty self-explanatory. It's basically just weighing out what is something that they consider the Holy Spirit versus something that is like a paranormal phenomenon. The second one is the Oculus Habitor. I'm going to be botching this up, so I'm so sorry. But this is basically just like noticing that some of these paranormal phenomenons could be positive, right? Which I think this is such an important conversation to have, because some people try to do fear-mongering and try to call things demonic when they're not. And so it's interesting that they're looking for these signs. The third one is talking about having like a healthy skepticism versus being open-minded, which I think a lot of people in the paranormal investigation community do. Yes, we try to debunk things and find logical explanations to things, even if you are also a psychic medium, but it's interesting that they have this as well. And I think that's amazing that they tell people like, look, use discernment and all that jazz. The fourth one is sub mandato, which is basically just looking out for people that are scamming, frauding. You know, I think this happens a lot, whether you are a psychic medium or a paranormal investigator. Like, I've seen people make content and just fake stuff. I've seen psychic mediums try to scam people. So it's just using that discernment. So the way that I saw the number 5 on this list is the idea of having rituals, safety, and concern. So like I said, having a ritual in mind, whether you are doing a meditation, a prayer, and so on. As a medium, I do both. Like, I cleanse my space, I cleanse myself, I do a meditation before and after. And also as an investigator, when I use equipment, I make sure that my equipment is cleansed. So next we're gonna get into the number 6, declarado de non-supernatural, which is basically saying it's a declaration of non-supernatural phenomenon, which I can also do a whole video of my experiences of people that think they might have been attacked spiritually or had haunted experiences when they're really not.
I know I said in the beginning, but I want to kind of clarify a little bit. So as a psychic medium, a lot of the things that I've studied is more of spiritism. And so it's really evaluating cultures and belief systems from around the world. Intersects with culture and social norms, especially in regions where it has a significant belief and importance to it. So having a clear guidance for valuing paranormal content really helps ensure these practices are conducted with respect and integrity. As a Latina, there are so many conversations that I've had with people who grew up in certain parts of Latin America and in their home, in a Latino home, where there was a protocol that they had, whether it was a belief system. And I think it's interesting that they're putting this out there in a more public way for people to have conversations about. Anyway, if you guys have any thoughts or opinions on this matter, let me know.